Good Morning America. This morning, the summit is back on.
June 12th, we'll be in Singapore.
President Trump welcoming a top North Korean official to the White House and accepting a letter from Kim Jong-un ahead of their historic meeting in Singapore. What will be at stake and the reaction from the region.
Gruesome discovery. 3 bodies uncovered in this Massachusetts home tied to this man.
If there are any other victims, we're going to find it or them.
How a traffic stop led to his capture and the woman they found in his car and the horrifying story she told police.
First on GMA, airline under fire, a dog's death during a cross-country trip on a Delta flight, never making it to his owner.
We want to know what happened to our dog.
What the airline is saying this morning.
Caught on camera, close call. A small plane making an emergency landing on a busy California street, narrowly missing other vehicles.
And wildfires out of control. This man caught in the middle of it.
This might not be a smart idea.
A dozen buildings burned with hundreds more threatened as reported tornadoes tear through the plains. And it was swimming instead of baseball in the dugout.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Hey, good morning. Let's get straight to the breaking news. The weather front, the weather news on 2 fronts this morning.
Overnight, we saw both severe weather in the Midwest and also explosive growth in a massive wildfire in New Mexico. It is burning out of control and forcing folks out of their homes.
Yeah, take a look at this harrowing, newly released video. A man caught on the highway with fires raging on both sides of him. Rob is here with the latest on all of this. Busy morning for you.
Yeah, we're into June now, so obviously hurricane season, but we're getting summer weather. And for the folks out west, we're into fire season. And as you saw, hundreds having to flee their homes.
Overnight, dramatic images as a wildfire rages out of control in northern New Mexico.
This might not be a smart idea. Oh, geez.
Flames closing in as this driver daringly races through Ute Park trying to get out. Evacuations underway.
I've got all 6 of my animals, my wife, my mom, and everybody else is all ready to go.
This morning, the wildfire 0% contained, with more than 16,000 acres charred. More than a dozen structures burned, nearly 300 more threatened. Evacuees uncertain when they'll be able to return home.
You're always going to be worried leaving your home, even when you just leave on the weekends. But we got good firefighters, and they're pretty good, so I think the town will be safe.
And in southern Colorado, hundreds evacuated as this wildfire burns north of Durango. A state of local disaster declared. Meanwhile, severe weather whipping up from the plains to the southeast. At least 11 reported tornadoes from Nebraska to North Dakota. In Wyoming, a reported twister in Gillette destroying homes and injuring 2 people. And in the south, hail and rain pouring down on Jacksonville, Florida. And take a look at this Mississippi resident taking a swim in the Ole Miss Stadium dugout.
A lot of humidity in the air across much of the country, so you see those heavy, almost tropical downpours. And we've got severe weather threat this morning. We had some rough stuff move through Kansas City overnight with a lot of lightning, and now we've got a severe thunderstorm watch-up that's in effect for parts of eastern Kansas and much of Missouri for especially this morning up to about noon time. Then thunderstorms popping later on in the day. St. Louis, Springfield, damaging winds, large hail, maybe a tornado or 2, but some of these winds certainly can be damaging. Now, soil saturated D.C., that area is seeing twice the amount of rain they typically have for May. So we're talking about the effects of flash flooding today with just a little bit of rain, but we're probably going to see a lot here in the next 36 hours. So that's why that flash flood watch is up, maybe 3 or 4 inches of rainfall. So we'll be watching for a messy weekend in the mid-Atlantic. More on that throughout the program. Dan, over to you.
As we said, busy morning in the weather department. Rob, thank you, and much more from you throughout the show. We turn now, though, to the latest on the North Korea summit. It is back on this morning. Overnight, this man, Kim Jong-chol, a top deputy to the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, returning to New York City after an extraordinary, nearly 2-hour meeting in the Oval Office.
Yeah, what a meeting that was. The North Korean official, a spy chief accused of many crimes, hand-delivering this plus-sized letter from Kim Jong-un to President Trump. Bob Woodruff is in the region with more on what's at stake, but we start with White House correspondent Tara Palmieri, who's on the North Lawn for us this morning. Tara, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan and Paula. That's right. President Trump said he's heading to Singapore, not expecting to come home with anything signed. He said that June 12th is the start of a process. This morning, the historic summit between North Korea and the United States is officially back on.
June 12th, we'll be in Singapore.
The president accepting that oversized message from North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
It was a very interesting letter.
Kim's right-hand man and former spy chief Kim Jong-chol at the White House for his special delivery, receiving a warm welcome.
Good meeting today. I think it's a great start.
Kim, formerly banned from the United States, reportedly oversaw the 2014 Sony hack after their film The Interview mocked Kim Jong-un.
They hate us because they ain't us.
The last and only other North Korean official to visit the White House was the top advisor to Kim's father, Kim Jong-il. Here he is, 18 years ago, sitting with President Clinton. President Trump talking up his note from Kim.
And that letter was a very nice letter. Oh, would you like to see what was in that letter?
The meeting was expected to be a short exchange.
This was a letter presentation that ended up being a 2-hour conversation.
Talking sanctions, ending the Korean War, and the pace of denuclearization.
I told him today, take your time. You can go fast, we can go slowly.
After that meeting, President Trump said he no longer wants to use the term maximum pressure when talking about North Korea because they're, quote, getting along. Dan, Paula?
Yeah, tempering those expectations. Tara, thank you. In South Korea, welcoming this news that the summit is officially back on.
As we said, ABC's Bob Woodruff is in Beijing with a reaction to the announcement and a look at what is at stake here. Bob, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, Dan and Paula. Let's talk about what all of this means to Asia. Generally, positive reactions by South Korea and Japan, our allies. They have the biggest stakes in all of this. South Korea's President Moon Jae-in wanted the summit from the very beginning and angry when it was finally canceled. But today, a spokesperson said Moon is relieved, quote, "We will excitedly but calmly look forward to their historic meeting in Singapore." But the summit is getting some criticism as well. For one, Kim Jong-chol, the spy chief. He's accused of masterminding 2 deadly attacks on South Korea in 2010. One attack on an island, the other a South Korean naval ship, killing 46 sailors. Also human rights. President Trump says he will not deal with this at the summit. Kim Jong-un is allegedly responsible for the death of 22-year-old American student Otto Warmbier, who died after being held as a hostage in North Korea for more than a year. His father, Fred Warmbier, came to the Olympics this year to remind the world exactly what happened. Then there are North Korea's 2 other powerful neighbors. That's Russia and China. Both of those countries' leaders, Putin and Xi, are getting increasingly concerned that the U.S. is moving in on their turf. They want peace, but on their terms, not America's terms. So Dan and Paula, this summit in Singapore will not be just about Trump and Kim. These 4 other powerful countries will have a lot of influence, whether America wants it or not.
Yes, so many eyes will be on this summit. Thank you, Bob. And joining us now from Texas is ABC News chief political analyst Matt Dowd. Matt, good Saturday morning to you. Thanks for joining us. So let's talk about this summit. The president's now saying that the summit in Singapore, it may be the first of many meetings that could move slowly. So he's clearly tempering the expectations. That statement by the president, coupled with Mitch McConnell saying, quote, "If you fall in love with the deal, you could get snookered," end quote. So does this indicate that we've already given way too much?
Well, you know, Mitch McConnell's statement reminds me of what my father told me before I bought a house, which is never fall in love when you buy a house, because either you'll overpay or you'll look past problems. And so I think Mitch McConnell is right about that. I think that in the situation we're in, that the president has given away a lot because Kim Jong-un has already gotten credibility on the world stage, and now he's much more in the circle of nations around the world, and that's exactly what the head of North Korea wanted, and he already has that.
We just heard some of it from you, but there's been a lot of criticism about the president's actions leading up to the summit, the shifting expectations, the glad-handing with that North Korean official who's been accused of some pretty serious crimes. But isn't it possible at the end of the day that this unconventional president, and he told us he was going to be unconventional, is about to achieve something that nobody else could before him?
Well, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, I think if it turns out that this meeting is the beginning of a relationship that's built and a denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, that would be awesome. And I think unconventional sometimes in foreign policy, just like Richard Nixon going to China, worked out in the end for it. But I think the problem is when you're unconventional without a definitive strategy. And I think many people worry this president is unconventional and unpredictable, but does he have a real strategy, or is it just seat of the pants?
All right, Matt Dowd, analysis from Texas this morning. Nothing unconventional about you, Matt. That's why we love you.
Either y'all, also y'all, you're the same.
Right. Thanks, Matt. We do want to turn now to a really bizarre story out of Massachusetts where a man pulled over during a routine traffic stop. It led to the discovery of 3 bodies in the home where he was living.
ABC's Ariel Reshef is right there at the scene in Springfield, Massachusetts. Ariel, good morning.
Good morning to you, Dan and Paula. That home is on this busy thoroughfare. You can see it's now cordoned off by crime scene tape. That mobile command center set up right in front. Neighbors say in hindsight they noticed some strange behavior, even a foul smell, but that discovery more heinous than they could have ever imagined.
This morning, this Massachusetts home turned gruesome crime scene.
If there's anything of relevance to our investigation, if there are any other victims, we're going to find it or them.
Authorities using ground-penetrating radar to comb for other potential victims after the discovery of 3 bodies on the property.
We're looking for objects underneath the surface. Radio waves will kick back and indicate to us whether there's an object there. It can also detect disturbed earth, which would indicate any kind of excavation.
Inside, officials confirming a child was found alive and placed in emergency custody.
That could have been my children. That could have been my wife missing. And I didn't know where they were. They could have been less than 100 yards away.
Authorities say the home is tied to this man, Stuart Weldon, who was pulled over Sunday night for a broken taillight. Police say he took off, sparking a dangerous pursuit. Weldon's capture leading officers to a female passenger with severe injuries. The woman claiming Weldon had been holding her captive for the past month, allegedly beating and repeatedly raping her. On Wednesday, police searched that home owned by Weldon's mother, where he is believed to have lived for 2 years. His aunt telling reporters,
he just had a lot of problems. He really should have been probably taking medication. You know, we all knew that, but he just never, as he got older, he didn't want to.
Weldon is not charged in connection with the 3 deaths, but police say their investigation is far from over.
And investigators say they could be out here days, if not weeks. In the meantime, Weldon is held on several charges, including armed kidnapping. He has pleaded not guilty. Dan, Paula?
Much more to come on this story, unfortunately, and we'll stay on it right here on ABC. Ariel, thank you. We're going to move on now to the Uber driver facing a murder charge this morning for shooting his own passenger, he says, in self-defense.
Police are now trying to unravel the mystery of what happened inside that vehicle, and ABC's Clayton Sandell has the story.
This morning, Denver police are trying to unravel the mystery of a deadly Uber ride. The 911 call came in at 2:45 Friday morning.
Our caller's an Uber driver stating he just shot a passenger.
That passenger, 45-year-old Hyun Kim, shot multiple times. Officers tried CPR to save him, but he died at a hospital.
A Uber driver and his passenger got into a conflict inside his vehicle.
The Uber driver, seen here in handcuffs, is 29-year-old Michael Hancock, now facing a first-degree murder charge. Police believe he fired 10 shots at Kim, but Hancock allegedly told a witness the shooting was self-defense, claiming he opened fire with a handgun because his passenger attacked him.
Is the Uber driver the suspect? That's Afram. I believe he's our caller.
Hancock's family says he's the father of 2 kids, that he wanted to make the world a better place. Uber says Hancock had been a driver for 3 years, saying they are deeply troubled by the shooting and are working closely with police.
And Uber reminds us this morning that drivers and passengers are banned from carrying guns while using the app. As for that driver, police say he is not talking to them without an attorney, and he has not yet entered a plea. Dan, Paula?
All right, Clayton Sandell reporting. And I think it's time to turn things over to Ron Claiborne. I love the tie this morning, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I love the dress this morning.
And
Dan, beautiful.
You guys look like Christmas next to one another.
I think we said it looks very well dressed. I wouldn't wear that tie, but it looks good on you.
That's a great tie.
I said I wouldn't wear it. It looks good on him.
He just can't help it.
So much
Anyway. Good morning, everyone. We're going to begin with the Atlantic hurricane season beginning in Puerto Rico, which was devastated, of course, by Hurricane Maria last year, releasing new figures showing an increase in deaths in its aftermath. Nearly 1,400 more people died on the island in the 3 months after the hurricane than in the same 3-month period the year before. A 14% increase. A Harvard University study this week said at least 4,600 deaths were linked to Hurricane Maria. The official death toll still standing, though, at 64. In Tennessee, the manhunt is over for the suspect wanted in the fatal shooting of a sheriff's deputy near Nashville. Stephen Wiggins was found Friday in a wooded area just 2 miles away from where Sergeant Daniel Baker was killed responding to a call about a suspicious car. Prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty against Wiggins. In Texas, 5 former cheerleaders are suing the Houston Texans football team, accusing the organization of sex discrimination and unfair working conditions. The women say they were exploited and paid less than $7 an hour with no overtime. One of the accusers says she was actually attacked by a fan during a football game and told by the team to just suck it up. This is the second cheerleaders' lawsuit filed against the Houston Texans this week. And in Southwest Texas, it was a night of celebration and some somber reflection for the graduates of Santa Fe High School just weeks after the deadly mass shooting at that school. At the graduation ceremony, there were tributes to the 8 students and 2 teachers killed, allegedly by a fellow high school student. Each senior wore a white stole to honor those who were killed. Some held pictures of their classmates as they crossed the stage. In California, a small plane had to make an emergency landing on a busy street in Huntington Beach near L.A. That was the plane there landing. The security video, you don't see that every day, showing the pilot landing safely. It was about 5 miles away from John Wayne Airport, where it had taken off. No one was injured on the ground or in the plane. Amazing. And finally, that 30-year-old man who made headlines when his parents took him to court because he wouldn't leave their upstate New York home. That dude is out. He's moved out.
Is out.
With just hours to spare before a court-ordered deadline, Michael Rotondo loaded up his station wagon with garbage bags and a cooler. You don't know what was in the cooler, and drove off Friday morning. He reportedly hopes to move in with a cousin. I'm not sure the cousin knows about this yet.
Can we give him some proper luggage? That is such a
garbage bags and a cooler.
You know what? I've done it at points in my life. I've definitely done it.
I have had the garbage bag luggage.
Yeah.
You got to get a good, sturdy garbage bag.
You do.
Because otherwise,
Well, you've done this too.
The key is to bring
will not confirm nor deny.
Okay.
Packing tips by GMA.
Rob, I have to say, I like your tie.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
There's deer on it.
There's
right?
deer. Well, we're into summer now, so my friends who are farmers, it's a kind of a nod to John Deere.
Oh, I love
The fact that there's a little red nose on this, we'll just ignore that.
Those are deer ticks.
Oh, gosh.
All right, let's go to the new Olympic sport, which combines baseball and swimming. There we go. This is the Ole Miss dugout in Oxford, Mississippi, after flash flooding rains filled it up, because nowadays they kind of step down a few notches. I can't tell if this is a player or just a trespasser. Anyway, he's trying to do what looks to be a butterfly. Look, the eastern half of the country has seen so much rain. Look at this. This is a drought monitor. East of the Mississippi, barely any drought at all. You go west, and now with 4 corners, about 7 states in exceptional drought here. It's one of the reasons we saw those fires break out across parts of New Mexico. We've got elevated fire danger today, and then we've got heat as well. Excessive heat warnings for parts of Southern California. And heat advisories up. Dallas is going to get probably in the triple digits today. Some record-threatening heat here. And triple digits going to be across the board from Palm Springs to Las Vegas and Phoenix, I think, over the next 3 or 4 days. So it's that time of year. Time now for a check of your local weather forecast. Here you go.
Well, the flood threat is ongoing for the D.C. area. Flash flood watch until 6 a.m. Sunday morning. In addition, we have flood warnings for parts of Washington, Berkeley, and Frederick County, Maryland, until about 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning. Here's a look at that radar. Not too much to show you right now, actually waking up to some periods of sunshine. But after about lunchtime today, showers and thunderstorms start to pop up. If you're heading to the Capitals game or any watch parties tonight, watch for water-covered roads and have the rain gear.
And as Ron pointed out, it is tick season, so be sure to wear your flea collar, or in Ron's case, an ankle bracelet.
Oh!
Let's talk later, bro.
All right, sounds good.
You know what other season it is? NBA Finals.
Oh, it is. Game 2 coming up.
And the Golden State Warriors are in the midst of the finals, but they are taking some time out to help their youngest fans,
Yeah,
the
this is
kids.
a great story. The team unveiling a newly renovated play space in San Leandro, but their battle with the Cavs, was not far from their mind. So let's get back to one of our in-house sports experts, Ron Claiborne, with the details.
Somebody else. You know, it's safe to say that the Golden State Warriors right now are focused on winning another championship, but some of their players, including their star Steph Curry, still found time to give back to some kids in their community.